wore me out, Gabe.
Wasn't my plan.
I hope it wasn't. All right, so obviously we talked at your house a little bit,
Yes.
just informally. You know, I explained to you why I broke your door down, what all that situation was. And, you know, for the record, I do appreciate your cooperation. Once inside the house, you know what I mean?
Yes.
You were cooperative, respectful, and the most important thing about all this is nobody got hurt. Your daughter Elizabeth or you. Because by no means do we want to hurt people. But we have to do what we have to do. I hope you understand. So, and like I told you, people can allege things. They can say that, you know, he did this or he did that. There's always two sides to every story. And even if you are charged with something, doesn't mean you're guilty. It means you'll have a day in court to explain things, right? And let a judge figure out, based on the evidence, based on my reports, based on him talking to you, talking to witnesses, et cetera, then he makes a decision, right? Okay. So you are being charged right now with the menacing because your mother-in-law said you threatened her with a screwdriver. I'm just telling you how it's...
I know, I want you to know.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I'm just, like I said from the beginning, I'm not going to bullshit you. You're an intelligent guy. I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass. I'm just going to tell you exactly how things are and how they're working, okay?
Well, I just want you to know that when you say it, I want to say that that wasn't true.
Yeah, and you'll have that opportunity. I just got to go through this
I got you. I
advisement.
apologize for
Yeah, no worries. So, and then with you not responding to our knocking and, you know, Gabriel, open the door. That's pretty standard. You get an obstruction charge, okay? And that's what you're being charged with, the obstruction and then the menacing, okay? So, based on those allegations, because that's all they are right now, is allegations, and I wrote this out, that this department is investigating an occurrence that occurred on this date pertaining to the disturbance at your residence involving your wife and mother-in-law. Can't make it much more simpler than that. So, God dang it, I left all my pins in the other room. God damn it.
Okay, the mother's not seeing that he lives with?
So anyway, and I'll have you sign this when I get a pin in here.
That's affirm, and they had attempted to...
So you have the right to remain silent. Anything you can say will be used or can be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to have an attorney with you before any questioning. You also have the right to have an attorney afforded to you if you cannot afford one, presented to you, supplied to you, et cetera, by the state, okay? Do you understand those rights?
Yeah. Can I ask, how does this, what about our discussion before at my house? That's already admissible, right? Because it's on the video.
Well, yeah, but that was a consensual discussion just between us, yeah.
So what's the difference between that discussion and this one?
Well, I think you would want to go a little more in depth, and it's totally up to you. Yeah, and you gave me a good outline. You gave me a good idea of what happened, why it happened, why this thing rose to this issue. You know, there's been family problems with you and your wife. You've been separated once. You've gotten back together. Now mother-in-law is hashing up previous things or whatever, you know, and that set you off today. You got upset with her. It's your home, which I agree, and you asked her to leave.
Okay.
And that's basically where we left it.
It's pretty straightforward. Was there anything else besides these two charges? Was that it, the menacing and the...
And then the child abuse. Okay, anytime.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, but you've got to agree. I can't ask you specific questions because you haven't agreed to speak with me under Miranda yet. Okay. That's how this works, buddy.
Okay, sorry.
So let me.
I'm not trying to be obstinate. I'm just trying
You
to...
aren't. You're fine,
okay.
Bro. Like I said back in there, this is a new experience for you. So if you have questions, absolutely. If you're not understanding something, absolutely. You know, ask, and I'll try the best I can to explain. But let me get a pin in there,
let me sign
okay?
the thing.
All right. 115-214. Yeah, meet me in the interview room, please.
Does it make any difference what I say as far as whether I go home today or not?
Well, hold on one
You
second.
got it.
Hold on one second.
As long as you need.
So, not pertaining to what you're being charged with today, you know, Gabriel, you seem like a pretty intelligent guy, but there's something going on with you.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but you know what I mean. But I've been doing this job a little while. This isn't my first day,
Okay.
and you know, there's something. I'm not saying you're crazy,
Oh, I'm fucking crazy.
but you need some sort of mental
I've
health.
needed help for a long time.
And I'm glad you're saying that, because where I'd like this to see this go is some kind of mental health treatment to get you stabilized, to get your life making sense. Because right now, your actions and what we talked about, nothing is making sense right now.
Really?
No. I mean, it makes sense what you did, but why?
What do you mean?
Well, you went and bought a gun. For what reason? Because you're afraid that somebody's going to kick you out of your home?
Yes.
Dude, that's not the way it
It
works.
isn't.
No, who's going to kick you out of your home? I need an ink pen. I left all mine in the thing.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thanks,
Yeah.
buddy. All right. We can broach that subject afterwards, but honestly, I am concerned about your mental health. And speaking with you and actually analyzing this whole situation before we had to break the door down, I was concerned with your mental health. And trust me, in this state that we're in right now with the COVID, and dude, there's a lot of people that are at wits' ends, and you know how easy it is for people to snap? People that are totally rational, that have, you know, went through their whole life, and now something just made the trigger, right? And I'm not a doctor. I don't know what that kind of shit is. I don't know why. But I know it's important if you're in that state or you're in and out of that state that you get some help from somebody that's smart and can actually diagnose you, help you, guide you through some of these times. That you're thinking clearly, you're making good decisions, and it allows you to foster your relationships that you need to foster, and that would be with your wife and your kids. That if you don't get healthy, I mean mentally healthy, you are never going to be able to have those relationships. You know what I mean? And you know that. You've already recognized it. But you just don't know where to go for the answers. You don't know who to go to, right? But I'm telling you, you need somebody to start giving you some answers and some help. And I'm just a cop, dude. I can't, but I can see there's something wrong. You know what I mean? Because you're an intelligent guy, you're respectful, but there's something there. There's this, you know, I can see it in your eyes, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that's there. And
It's always been there.
but you got to get that fixed.
I don't think there is any way to fix it.
Well, of course there is.
What do you mean?
Are you that far gone? Dude, you're not Hannibal Lecter, bro.
I didn't say I was.
I know. Those type of people can't be fixed. You're nowhere even in that category.
I think what you're talking about has been there my whole life.
Right.
Okay, well, I don't know that that can be fixed then.
But you know what? I can't answer that, but I think it's worth a try.
Okay, we could try.
I mean, wouldn't it be? Wouldn't it be worth a try to have whatever anchor you're carrying around your neck taken off? The weight of whatever is on your mind, around your neck, whatever. Wouldn't it be nice to get rid of that?
Yes, it would.
Well, I would think so. All right. Let's get off that subject momentarily and back to the original meats and potatoes. So that's why you're in here. We're investigating you, and what the charge is of menacing. Menacing, because you menaced your mother-in-law. Said you menaced her with a screwdriver. That's what you're being charged with. And then anytime there's a children involved, there's always a neglect thing.
Yep.
That you put a child in a position where they could be injured. Doesn't mean you're guilty of any of this stuff. These are, like I stated before, what your charges are, okay? So, if you have understood your rights as I've read them to you, sign here. That just means you can read English, you understand what I said. All right. So if you're willing to talk to me further about this situation, you would have to write your answer here, either yes or no. If you want to continue our discussion, I need you to agree that, I can ask you questions. Because legally you are under arrest right now. And legally I cannot ask you about any specific crime, okay? I can't, unless you agree to talk to me. And then, if you do agree, and I ask you something, Gabriel, you don't want to answer, just say, move on.
Okay.
It's not like on TV, I'm not gonna waterboard you, beat you, or slap you.
I got you.
We're just gonna talk. If you wanna talk, we'll talk. So,
Okay.
either write your answer yes or no here, and then you'll have to sign one more time right here, partner, regardless of what your answer is.
Okay. I think I should probably get a lawyer for my own good, but I don't want to be disrespectful.
No,
to
you're
you.
not. Gabriel, it's your decision and your decision alone. I can't tell you which way to go.
Well, here's the deal.
You've already been upfront and honest with me when we were at your house, when we were trying to sort things out, what was going on. If there's any additional things you would like to say, then let's talk about that. You've never admitted guilt to me. What you told me is, yeah, you had a screwdriver. Yeah, you were upset with her because she was in your house, she was causing trouble, you wanted her to leave. You told me you just had a screwdriver because you were going to adjust a lock.
Yep.
Her story is completely opposite.
I can imagine.
You know what I mean? So you've already told me quite a bit about the incident.
I know.
Yeah.
I think I already screwed the pooch, so.
Well, dude, if that's the truth, all you can
But
say
this
is the truth.
I know. I don't know how I'm gonna get around that. I just feel like, I'm in a bad spot.
Well, you're not in the best spot you've been in, I'm sure, in quite a while. But you know what? Listen to me for a second. If the best thing that comes out of this, that the judge agrees with, I'm not a doctor, so I can't assess any kind of mental illness or anything. But when you're in court, you should be honest with either, see, you're going to meet with an intake prosecutor at first. They're going to advise you the charges. They're going to ask you how you plead, okay? Okay. If you plead not guilty, then it's going to go to court, okay? But, you should be honest with them, and you should be honest with a judge and everybody else that you really think you need some kind of help. That this is not you. There have been problems that you have recognized for quite some time, and you need some help. Because that's what I believe. I don't think you're a criminal. I don't think you're a bad guy. But obviously something is going on inside your mind that you need some help. That's the way I see it. I'm just being honest with you. And I think that would be your best recourse here. Jail, prison? No. That's not what you need.
What if I'm not gonna be able to see my kids because of that, though?
I can't predict something like that, but I would see no reason in time for you not to be able to see your kids. You haven't threatened your kids. You're not abusive to your kids. This is not about you doing, the only reason you're getting charged with the child abuse is because you put them in a position where Elizabeth could have been hurt. Say we busted the door down and we had a cop that was a little itchy on the trigger and he fired a beanbag round at you at the top of the stairs and accidentally hit her. You know what I'm saying? That's the why you have this child abuse, because you put her in a position where, God forbid, somebody could have made a mistake and hurt her. And that's all that is. Nobody's ever, even your wife said you've always been great with the kids. She never made any kind of reference that Elizabeth was in danger, and the main thing is she was worried about your mental state. And that's why we had to come in and make sure Elizabeth was safe, and then you were safe. You had a loaded shotgun, bro.
I know.
Well, I don't know why.
5:15 and
I wasn't
7:21
gonna use it,
on
and I
unwanted.
didn't. I was just scared.
Well, I hope you're not scared of us.
Not now.
Well, there's
Like you said.
there's issues, bro. There's issues.
Well, would it help me to have a lawyer then?
You know what? I can't tell you one way or the other because, you know, in my position, I can't say, nah, you don't need a lawyer. That's an entrapment
Well,
situation.
like we just
Dude, you've
discussed.
already been on it. You've already told me really the whole deal.
I know.
And really everything I really wanted to talk to you about was basically you getting some help.
Okay.
Because you don't seem like a bad guy.
Dude,
Look, we deal with shitheads all day. That ain't you.
well,
But you've got some issues you need to get squared away. If you're gonna ever have a relationship with your wife and your kids, I mean like a real relationship, instead of just a birthday daddy, you know, that gets to show up on their birthday and give them presents. If you're gonna have a real relationship, you're gonna need to get some help. And I'm just,
lawyer or mental health?
pardon me?
Are you saying like a lawyer or mental?
Mental. I'm not talking about the charges right now, bro.
I know, I.
That's way secondary in my mind right now. My mind is for you personally. That's what I'm more interested in right now. This is what it is right now. You're being charged with them. You're gonna have to deal with this in court. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a done deal right now. I mean, we broke your goddamn door down.
Yes.
We came in and put you in handcuffs. You know what I mean? So the charges are the charges. To me, that's secondary right now, as far as your mental state, your mental health, and the chance that you are going to get some help that I believe you need. Because look at your demeanor from the second I made verbal contact with you at the top of the stairs, dude. You're not scared.
What?
You don't act like, I know the difference between people that are scared, but you're so anxious, you're so, into just some sort of mindset that,
Like I'm under attack.
yeah, something. But is that normal? No, it's not. At all. I've been doing this a long time. I'm no mental health doctor,
I know,
bro,
I know.
but I've been doing
You
it.
don't encounter people like me all the time?
No,
Really?
no,
I find that hard to believe.
no. If they are, they're usually very dangerous,
Okay.
and they end up
Well,
getting shot or something. You know what I'm saying? And dude, I don't want you to ever get into that realm. There's no need for this, because you've already told me you've recognized that you have an issue with something, and you've had it for a long time, and maybe you've been able to mask it, deal with it, but right now with everything going on in your life, the instability of your marriage, you were separated for a while, you're trying to reconnect with your wife, that hasn't been going well, your mother-in-law interjecting her, whatever, causing more stress. You are getting close to a breaking point, bro.
I think it broke.
Well, it didn't, because you didn't hurt anybody, and you didn't get hurt.
It sounds like I tried to hurt somebody from the charges.
No, you
Well,
didn't.
I
You did not.
just don't like the sound of these charges, especially the child abuse, but I don't know what else I'm supposed to.
Like I said, you placed her in a position where she would have got hurt. You were not intentionally doing it, but by you not,
Negligence.
huh?
Is that negligence?
Yeah,
then? Okay.
yeah, no, she wasn't hurt. My report's gonna reflect that. She was perfectly happy and healthy, holding on to you. If she was afraid of you, she would have, the second I came in, she would have,
Well, and she wouldn't have let me
no,
keep her home.
yeah,
When her mom left.
yeah. So, no, there's no issue there, bro.
Okay.
I saw that right away when I saw her. She smiled at me.
She's so.
Yep, she is. So is your son. They both are. And like I told you in the apartment, that's what you have going for you. That's why you need to get healthy, and you need to keep yourself safe.
That's why I want to get back and see them. So that's the quickest way to do it.
Well, you're gonna have to go up to the jail, They're going to advise you of the charges tomorrow,
Okay.
and then you'll have a bond, and then you can bond out.
Then am I able to call a lawyer at some point here?
Oh, you can call a lawyer whenever whenever you believe you need a lawyer.
Or a bondsman, whatever.
Yeah, but not from here. You'll have to bond out from jail.
Okay, I got
Okay,
it.
that's at Adams County.
Okay.
All right. So as this progresses, if you believe you need a lawyer, then, do what you think you need to do. You can wait till your arraignment first,
Okay.
your arraignment, because all that is they're gonna tell you what the charges are, and they're gonna ask you how you plead. And if you plead not guilty, then it's bound over for court. And, court's so far behind right now with the COVID, and it's been shut down for a long time, that court may not be for quite a while. They'll probably have a preliminary hearing, within a few months, but they wouldn't, if it ever went to trial, it would be a long time from now. I'm gonna be retired by
So
the
until I
time.
get bailed out, I'm gonna be sitting in jail a long time.
The second you get up there, you can arrange for bail.
Okay,
You'll have a bail.
okay,
These are not horrendous charges, bro.
okay.
All
Well,
right.
I wanna be able to see my kids again.
Okay, but there may be a stipulation that you are not allowed to see your kids until you go through the arraignment, which is
Arraignment,
next
fine,
week.
Fine, yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Fine. No
Yeah.
problem,
Yeah,
no problem.
and then that's, the courts are gonna decide that. You know what I mean? About
Yes.
when you can see your kids, and then obviously, your wife will have to be on, and I'm gonna call her after we're done here. She's concerned about you too.
I find that hard to believe.
I'm just telling you.
I'm very concerned about my kids.
I think your kids are all right now.
I'm not so sure. They weren't all right last time.
Well, I don't know any of that past history. I'm just telling you by what I observed today
Okay.
and where they're at and who they're with. I think if I didn't think they were fine, dude, I wouldn't have left them.
I know.
I would have put them, in social services would have been called.
Like that.
All right. All right, so,
What did you want to talk about?
well, basically, like I said, I hope you realize, I hope you allow somebody to help you, Gabriel.
Okay.
That's what I hope. That, more than anything, I hope. The report's already done as far as I'm concerned. We're past that. For long term, I hope you get some help. I hope you let people help you. And you know the old saying, you can lead a horse to water, you can't make him drink. If you don't express this to people and allow them to help you, then we ain't gonna get anywhere with this.
Okay.
That's just my point,
Okay.
okay?
Thanks.
Is there anything else you want to tell me about this? You explained the situation involving your mother-in-law. In your mind, you did not threaten her. You did not approach her in a method to hurt her. You just told her, you need to leave. You went to a drawer, got a screwdriver. You said you were going to adjust a lock with it while you were arguing with her and telling her to leave. Get your stuff, get out. Is there anything else?
It's not quite, that's the gist of it, not.
Well, that's what you stated originally.
I got you. Can I go back over it? Just to
Absolutely,
clarify?
absolutely. Yeah.
So we had been arguing.
Yep.
She had stayed the night, I think we covered all that.
Yep.
I had gone, we had been arguing upstairs, and I went downstairs, and I said, I don't wanna argue anymore,
To your wife?
to both of them. 'cause I was
Okay.
arguing with both of them.
Okay, all right. What were you arguing about?
Last summer, when we were separated.
Oh, the separation?
Correct.
Okay.
And how my daughter was treated.
Okay.
Um,
So then you went downstairs, you said, look, I'm not arguing anymore, I'm going downstairs.
Yeah, she told me that, my mother-in-law told me that she was the reason that my family was separated last year.
That the mother-in-law injected her wishes and that's what helped set with the
It
separation?
wasn't just her wishes, she assisted in separating my family last year.
So she was part of the causation of it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
She said she was the main cause, and I was very upset. I said, I don't want to argue anymore. And she just wanted to keep arguing. I said, I'd like you to leave now, please.
Okay.
My wife didn't contradict me. My wife didn't say, no, Mom, you don't have to leave. She said nothing.
Okay,
And so I really just wanted her out of my house.
Okay.
Because at that point, she was causing a conflict that wouldn't have otherwise been occurring.
okay,
I don't know. I think you said before that it's not like she would have been charged with a crime for
Right.
trespassing, but
right,
I think that I should be able to determine who is and is not inside my house. Otherwise, I don't feel like it's my house.
right. Well, from that standpoint, I mean, that makes sense, but, you know, I couldn't take any legal action against her.
Understood.
I would have just, if you would have called that she refused to leave, and I showed up, and you explained this, hey, I need her out of here, I would have told her, you gotta get your stuff and leave.
That's what I did. She said, I need my stuff. I said, here's your stuff. I put it outside. I said, please leave now, and she wouldn't leave.
Okay,
And I didn't know what to do. Because it was causing my kids to get upset.
sure,
So when I grabbed the screwdriver, I didn't even approach her. I was walking past her. She was between the drawer and the door where I was messing with the lock. I
okay,
didn't brandish the screwdriver. I was holding it down in my hand. I was walking from point A to point B, and she was in between.
okay,
So at no point did I threaten her. I didn't menace her. I just wanted her to leave my house.
okay,
When she left, when she wouldn't leave, she started screaming, and so I had the door open, and I started to push her out, and she grabbed my wife's hand, and my wife was holding my children.
right,
And
both
my
children.
children were not clothed, and it's cold outside. And so I said, come back inside to my wife, and I grabbed my daughter, I said, come back inside, because my son wasn't wearing a shirt, he was just wearing shorts. It's
Right.
very cold outside. I wanted my wife to come back inside, and I wanted my son and my daughter to be home, and I wanted to figure things out within
Sure.
our family. And
Sure.
I didn't want my mother-in-law staying there, continuing to instigate conflict when I didn't want to have a conflict. I wanted to figure things out.
Okay. And that was pretty much what we discussed in the house, other than just the fine details of
Just some details.
getting her out, yeah.
Well, at no point, I didn't like address her between me grabbing the screwdriver and me going to the door. I was just doing something with the screwdriver.
Okay.
I don't, like, she saw the screwdriver in my hand and she screamed, like, what are you doing? And she's like, are you gonna kill me with the screwdriver? I think that's what she said. Either kill me or like something like that. I was like, no, I'm going to the door, like,
Right,
at no point.
okay.
There was no threat. I just wanted her to leave.
And that's pretty much what in the back of my mind, what I was figuring, but she was pretty animated
I
about.
know, she's very animated. Well, hey, this is my frustration because she gets animated and she makes a false accusation and then I go to jail.
Well, the problem is, if it was just her saying that, but then your wife, not step in step with what she said, but kind of reiterated the same thing, that she felt like you may be posing a threat towards the mother-in-law with the
Like-
screwdriver.
Specifically with the screwdriver then,
Mhm.
so hadn't I picked up a tool, this wouldn't have happened?
No,
That's crazy.
I know,
Well,
I know.
I hope somebody else can understand that.
That's what court's for, bro.
Well,
Look, you have a perfectly plausible explanation of what, and if it was just the mother-in-law and you,
then it wouldn't.
then
it wouldn't have been-
I cannot take sides.
I know, but then it would have been a crime if it were just the mother-in-law and me. She would have been trespassing then, right?
But what I'm saying, in the bigger picture, if the mother-in-law was saying that you menaced her with the screwdriver, and you would have said this same story, I mean, who would I believe? I wouldn't. I can't take sides.
I know.
So it would have been a she said, he said deal. But with your wife kind of backing the mother-in-law's version of this, that's what pushed it to this point.
I gotcha.
Does that make sense?
In a certain way, but not in others.
Dude, I'm on nobody's side here,
I know.
bro. I'm trying to be perfectly neutral.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah, and I try and handle everybody like that. That's why when you were at the top of the steps, I said, dude, there's two sides to every story. Gabriel, come down, talk to me.
And I did.
You did. You did a good job. Because my worry in this thing was not about me. but about Elizabeth and you.
I know.
That's it.
I didn't want anything to happen.
No, good God, no. And I didn't want anything to happen to you. Well, I do. Whether you may not for this tiny minute, but you have kids. You better start caring about you. You better get healthy.
Well,
Your son needs a dad.
I
dude.
know. That's why
Yeah.
I'm freaked out right now. I'm not there for him.
Not this minute. That doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
Not this minute.
Okay.
Okay, this is the start of something new. You may look back at this in 5 years and say that's the best thing that happened to me because I got my mind right, I got some help, I'm focused, whether you're with your wife or not, but now I can take care of my kids. Now I can have a relationship with them, I can provide for them, emotionally, whatever, and you're there for them. Regardless of what happened today, dude, your kids are going to love you forever. Regardless. Right?
I know they'll love me, but they need to see me.
Well, they will.
Okay, good.
But you got to make it happen. I can't.
That's what I was trying to do.
All right. Well, now we have to divert that plan and do something a little bit different for you, and then you're ready to roll. Okay?
Okay.
You've pretty well explained everything. Unless you want to write a statement, I don't really feel it necessary.
No.
You're on body cam.
Yep.
I'm not stupid. I can remember exactly what you said, and that's going to be in my report. You're denying that you ever menaced her. You deny that, she is you're stating that she's blowing this out of proportion because you went to a drawer to get a screwdriver to work on a lock. You passed her. Never at any time did you point it at her, threaten her, or say you were going to injure her with that.
Absolutely.
She was the one that looked at you and said, what are you going to do with that? Kill me or hurt me or whatever she said.
That's my recollection.
Yeah,
She might have
yeah.
said something
When she
else.
said that too.
Well, and I said, no, I'm not
Right.
So she asked me if I was threatening her. I said no, and I didn't threaten
Okay.
her.
Because like I tell everybody that's in here, just tell the truth.
Okay.
Because usually the truth will eventually, yeah, I know this sucks. You're in jail, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody likes it in here. I understand that. But usually, in about everything I've seen, the truth does finally bear out. Now, I know it sucks presently for you, and it's going to suck for a little while. But the truth will bear out, and just, keep that in the back of your mind. I don't know if you're religious. I don't know if you talk to some spirit or some other being or whatever, but I've always believed that the truth always plays out.
Truth shall set you free.
Yep, that's what I believe. Still do and always will.
I don't think we should separate what God has made one.
Well,
Well, I hear what you're saying, and
Yeah.
that's kind of where I'm coming from.
yeah, and that's part of this. That's the root of this problem right now.
Yeah.
That is what the causation of where we are sitting right now. And I understand that. And as you well know, because you're intelligent, you've been around a while, and you see the news, these domestic situations are always the hardest, right? They're deep-rooted usually in a lot of different things. That's why people have such, emotional reactions to these things. And people do crazy shit that they never thought they were capable of when their emotions get to this level, right? This ain't like stealing a car. It's not emotional. You know what I mean? It's just stealing a goddamn car. This is emotion. You have somebody you love, one person, a wife. Then you have two children. That's a lot of emotional, raw end emotions, right? And those reactions, when those emotions explode, dude, I've seen people just do stuff that you would have never thought possible, nor did they think possible, but they snapped. And I don't want you to do that. And I'm glad it ended the way it did right now, and we're sitting here talking, and I hope for you and your kids that you get this thing squared away. All right? Let's run back here. We're done here, unless you have anything else.
Might use the bathroom at some point.
Absolutely. Uh, These goddamn doors are so loud, man. I wake up the dead. I'm gonna set you in this restroom right here, Gabe.
Appreciate that.
You bet. Just, come on, you fucking piece of shit.
Just what?
When you get done, just knock, because that locks you in. All right? Wash your hands when you're done too, buddy. So I haven't even started a Miranda, we just did Miranda on him and had an interview. So I've still got to run in and do an affidavit and all the jail paperwork, so whatever.
Sounds good. As soon as he's ready, just let us know. Get him out. Thank you.
You can come out, Gabe. Is this your stuff right here?
Yes, sir.
Those black shoes?
Yep, the boots.
Okay, do me a favor and grab all that stuff if you would, your boots, your coat, buddy.
Thank you.
Whoop, go ahead.
Oh,
Yeah, you're good, man. And then this locker right, just set those on the bottom down there. Gabe, I've got to do a little bit of paperwork, so I'm gonna have to put you in a cell momentarily.
That's fine.
And it gets kind of cold in those fucking things, so.
I appreciate it.
Yep, you bet. There's a cot in there with a mattress, just fold that down. Just, I know you're probably not gonna sleep peaceful, you just get a little rest for a few minutes.
got it.
Just relax.
What? You say anything?
Well,
Even remotely.
yeah, I mean, the story is almost exactly the same as what they were saying, the mother-in-law and everything. But he said, yeah, I told my mother-in-law to leave because she's one of the problems that, she's one of the reasons that me and my wife are having problems, because she's always interjecting, always being an issue here. And he said, yeah, I went to a drawer to get a screwdriver because I was going to adjust the front door lock, and I told her to get her shit and get out of here. At no time did I point it at her, threaten her. But yeah, I did have a screwdriver, and yeah, I was telling her to get out of my house. I'm tired of arguing with you. I'm tired of you, bothering our family. Blah, blah, blah.
Had he initially came to the door
And just sat and
it
talked
would
to
have
us.
been just the incident, or
Well, but the
Well-
problem is the wife's statement also kind of puts him facing off with her and pointing the thing at. See, that's the tickler. Otherwise, if it was just mother-in-law word and his word, no,
Otherwise-
there's absolutely no way I would have charged him with it. And I don't know how, you weren't over there initially, but that fucking mother-in-law was just,
was she the one sitting down?
Yeah. She was such a pain in the ass.
Oh, the one that's like, what if he's holding a gun to the
Yeah,
baby?
yeah.
Are you a good shot?
I know, yeah, she was such a fucking
That's the only
pain.
way I could figure out how to fucking deem this thing fucking.
Looks good to me, bro. So what kind of fucking shotgun is that?
It's a Stevens.
¿Tiene izquierda enfrente?
Stevens model.
Quiero que tengas tu
Stevens model 320.
Okay.
12
And
gauge.
how many shells did you eject out of it? 6?
5, I believe. I think it was.
And it was fully loaded.
Yeah. Plus,
Yeah.
well, yeah, it was probably 6 because it was probably 5 in the tube and 1.
Yeah, that's what I thought. 6 shells. Obviously 12 gauge. All
12
right.
gauge bird shot. That's how you know he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah. All right. All right. So you are doing your DUI. Hey, Fuzzy Nuts. I need you to book those fucking pictures in evidence. You took off on me last night.
Yeah.
I need to submit that report.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. The pictures aren't that big a deal.
Well, I can't submit the report until I do it.
No, you don't.
No, I don't care.
You don't. No, you don't. You could submit the report, and a month from now you could submit.
All right, so I'm going to submit
But-
the report. Because
in the
Cush needed
report-
it. Because this is that dumb parole guy that's going to complain.
So they're federal 2 3/4 shells.